Entry spot!
Ready for what's next, Nick?
With you, always
What if
carrots.
the city
Then
you
let's go.
fought so hard to protect?
The sun is back!
And
Welcome,
you-
friends!
Yes, what a beautiful day to be
Everything
together.
You believe
Yay,
about
animals are
justice,
playing!
equality and belonging, everything you literally risk your life. Got shattered not by a villain this time, but by something far
It's over.
more
Surrender
dangerous
now.
than truth.
Over. This is just the beginning.
Welcome back
Give
to
it up.
Utopia.
We have you.
It's been almost a decade since the first film brought into our life
Almost there, Nick. Keep
and below
climbing.
our minds.
Right behind you,
And
Carrots.
yeah, I
Watch
know
for the
we all
lights.
remember
The
exactly
hotspots are spreading. We need
where
a
we
plan.
were when
Agreed.
we first
Clawhauser, what's the
watched
traffic look
Judy
like?
Hopps,
Sector 4 is clear. We can move in.
that teeny little bunny from
It's all right.
Bunny
I'm
Borough
here to help.
strut into the Zootopia police department like she owned the place. We remember Nick Wilde's slaving his layers, that moment when everything we thought we know about him cracked open like an egg. We remember the sloth at the DMV. Oh, Flash, that single scene that made everyone in the theater lose it. But here is the thing about Zootopia that a lot of people something forget underneath all the incredible animation and the comedy and the buddy cop energy. That movie was doing something genuinely brave. It was talking directly to its audience
different.
about bias,
Stay alert,
about
Nick.
systematic
All right,
prejudice,
Wild.
about
Ready for our
how
first
even the
patrol?
most
Born ready,
well-meaning
Carrots.
people
Let's see what the
carry
city has for us.
assumptions that can cause real harm. It was a kids movie that trusted its audience, young and old alike, to handle some uncomfortable truths. So when Disney announced Zootopia 2, the questions on everyone's mind was not just will it be so funny or will Nick and Judy finally get together? The real question was, can they go deeper? Can they take everything the first film built and pushed it into something even more complex, even more emotionally honest? Let me tell you, they tried, and the results are fascinating. Frustrating, heartbreaking, and in some moments genuinely transcendent. So buckle up because today we are going full deep dive. We are taking stories, characters, themes, animation, emotional beats, the works. This is your complete guide to Zootopia 2, what it gets right, what it fumbles, and why it still manages to hit you somewhere surprisingly deep in by the time the credit rolls. Alright, let's set the stage. Zootopia 2 was released in November 2025, almost exactly 9 years after the original film hit theaters in the spring of 2016. It was directed by Josie Trendette and Trent Corey with story contributions from the Potter Walt Disney Animation Studios team. Now it's worth noting that Brian Howard and Rich Morey, the original directors of the first film, were not at the helm this time around, and that creative shift is something you do feel in the film's texture. Even if the new directors bring their own genuine strength to the table, the returning cast is where the magic lives. Jennifer Goodwin is back as Judy Hopper's our fierce, idealistic, perpetually caffeinated rabbit cop. Jason Bateman returned as Nick Wilde, the reformed con artist turned ZPD officers. With all the drive it and very conquered emotion depth, you remember Idris Elba is back as Chief Bogo. J.K. Simmons reprised his role as Mayor Lionheart, and Jenny Slate returns as Dawn Bellwether. Well, sort of. We'll get to that. The film is animated by Walt Disney Animation Studios and runs at approximately 109 minutes, slightly longer than the original 108 minutes runtime, which tells you immediately that the team was not trying to streamline the story, they were trying to expand it. Culturally, the film arrives at a very different moment than its predecessor. 2016 was a specific cultural flashpoint, politically charged, socially tense, and the original Zootopia landed like a perfectly timed cultural document. The metaphors were unmistakable. The message about fear, about being weaponized to divide communities felt urgently relevant. Criticized, please read it. Audience loved it. It won the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature and it went on to gross nearly $1 billion worldwide. So the expectations for Zootopia 2 were enormous and complicated because sequel to beloved animated films are tricky territory. We have seen Disney and Pixar stumble here before. Sometimes a sequel enriches its procedure, sometimes it quietly diminishes it, and sometimes it tries so hard to recapture the magic that it accidentally reminds you why the original felt so spontaneous and alive. The question was, which kind of sequel would Zootopia to be? The answer, and I'll spoil you nothing just yet, is that it's all three sometime with the same scene. The film opens on Zootopia and the first thing you notice is how different the city looks now and they rebuilt it. Why? But in a loved in evolved way, there are a new neighborhood that have sprouted up at the borders between climate districts. There is infrastructure built since the events of the first movie, new transaction lines connecting the
Ready
rainforest
for what's
district
next,
to
Nick?
the
With you, always
Meadowlands.
carrots.
Then
Morale
let's go.
celebrating enterprise.
The sun is back. Welcome,
corporations
friends.
on the
Yes,
side
what
of
a beautiful
building
day to be
downtown.
together.
Yay, animals are
And along the main boulevard there is a gorgeous new movement, a large circular sculpture made from interlock predator and
It's over.
prey
Surrender
animal
now.
Over. This is just the
silhouettes
beginning.
are
Give it up.
reaching
We have
outwards
you.
together like a pinwheel of progress. It's called the Unity Arch. It's beautiful,
Almost
it's
there, Nick.
optimized,
Keep climbing.
optimized
Right behind you,
and
carrots.
the film
Watch for
frames
the
it
lights.
very
The hot spots are spreading. We
deliberately
need a
in that
plan.
opening
Agreed.
shot,
Clawhauser, what's the
stunning,
traffic look like? Sector 4 is
exhausting,
clear. We
and
can
made
move in.
just a little fragile.
It's all right. I'm
We
here to
pick
help.
up roughly 2.5 years after the events of the first film. Judy Hopps is now a senior ZPD officer, still working alongside Nick Wilde, still the most recognizable face on the force thanks to the Bellwether case. She's been given more responsibility, more cases, a slightly bigger task. Nick is now a full detective. Chief Bogo is still running the department with the same wall of impeccable authority through a warmth occasionally leaks through that was not there in the original film. The opening sequence is a case scene, a bank robbery
Well,
perpetrated by a group of animals we initially
different.
assume
Stay
are
alert,
probably
Nick.
motivated by greed.
All right,
Judy and
Wild.
Nick
Ready
give
for our first patrol?
born ready,
chase
carrots.
through
Let's see
the
what the city
winding
has
street
for us.
of Savannah Central in a sequence that remains the best action set pieces from the original film. It's kinetic, it's funny. Nick makes no fewer than 3 brilliant quips while dangling off a moving vehicle, and it ends with the twist we are not expecting. The lead robber, when catch turns out to be a fox, a young fox barely out of adolescence, wearing a school ID badge still clipped to his collar from a community college program. His name is Chloe, and when Judy looks at him, when she catches those terrified eyes, the film lands its first emotional gut punch. This kid was not robbing a bank out of greed, he was trying to pay for his sick mother's medical bills because the clinic in his neighborhood had been quickly defunded. This is the world of Zootopia 2, a city that is technically more integrated, more celebrated, more progressive on its surface than ever before, and yet beneath the unity arch and the glamming murals, old wounds are quickly reopening in new and more complicated ways. The actual central mystery of Zootopia 2 being about 15 minutes into the film when a strong string of Basti incidents starts appearing on Bobo's desk. Animals in 3 different districts, all prey animals, are seemingly unconnected, have been reporting the same experience they make up when mourning with no money of the previous 24 hours. No trauma, no physical harms, just a gap, a blank space where a full day of their life should be. The ZPD initially chalks it up to isolated incidents, maybe stress, maybe some bad food from a good truck, maybe something in the water supply, but Judy noticed a pattern that no one else is picking up on. Every single one of these animals lives our works with the 3 block radius of a new pharmaceutical research facility called Synapse Biotic, which quietly opened its door in the Thundertown district 6 months ago. Here's where the film starts pulling in multiple directions at once and where the writing really began to show its ambition, because Synapse Biotech is not a shadow evil corporation with the mustache twirling CEO. Its founder and director is Dr. Mara Voss, an architect fox voiced with extraordinary subtlety and intelligence by Kate Blanchett. And her stated mission is the development of a memory-based therapeutic drug that could help animals suffering from trauma and PTSD. And on paper, the works look genuinely beneficial. There's a whole wall, a testimonial in her lobby. Former victims of the Night Howler crisis, predator who lost years of their lives to fear a stigma, prey animals who developed anxiety disorders so selves they couldn't function. Mara was on the surface is a healer, but the memory gaps keep multiplying and Judy won't let it go. Chief Bobo, under enormous political pressure from Mayor Lionheart, who is in the middle of a delegate re-election campaign built largely on the new Zootopia platform of progress, tells Judy explicitly to drop the investigation. There is no evidence, there is no crime, there are just some scattered animals who cannot account for their Tuesdays moves on. She don't moves on. And here's what Zootopia 2 does something genuinely bold that I don't see coming. It splits Judy and Nick. Not romantically, let's get that out of the way. Their relationship in the film is rich and textured and beautifully written, but the split I'm talking about is ideological. It's the first time in their film where Judy and Nick are on fundamentally opposite sides of a question, not a playful disagreement, not a misunderstanding that gets cleared up in 10 minutes. A real, sustained, uncomfortable disagreement about the nature of justice itself. Nick's arguments laid out in a pivotal scene at his apartment that stands as one of the best written sequences in the entire film. Is this Judy? You are a cop, you have a gun and a badge and a full weight of an institution behind you, and when you walk into a community like the one where Sanif's biotech operates in a
Ready for what's
neighborhood
next,
that
Nick?
is
With you, always
documentary
carrots.
Then let's go.
The sun is back. Welcome, friends.
Yes, what a beautiful day to be together.
Yay, animals are playing.
Watched and suspended and historically failed by the same institution, and you starts an unauthorized investigation based on this suspension and the map on your
It's
wall.
over. Surrender now.
You're not
Over.
fighting
This
for
is just the
justice,
beginning.
You are
Give it up. We have you.
recreating the exact dynamic that this city has spent the last 3 years trying to dismantle.
Almost there, Nick. Keep climbing.
And
Right behind
Judy
you,
to her
Karens. Watch for
enormous
the lights.
standard as a character
The hotspots are
doesn't
spreading.
just
We need a
subvert
plan.
this
Agreed.
argument away.
Clawhauser,
She
what's the
sits
traffic look
with
like?
it.
Sector 4 is clear. We can
She
move in.
can see it in her face, in the way
It's all right.
Jennifer
I'm
couldn't
here to help.
perform his scenes. The way Judy's hair flattens slightly, the way she looks down at her badge and then back up the next like she's genuinely uncertain for the first time in a very long time. Because Nick is not wrong, is it? But he isn't wrong, and the film knows it. But here is what Judy says back, the other half of the arguments. The half the film uses the abandon. She says Nick was, if the reason the memory gaps are happening only in that neighborhood is not a coincidence, but if the targeting of this community is not
Well,
incidental to the harm
different.
being done but
Stay alert,
central to
Nick.
it, what if
All right,
they
Wild.
very
Ready for our
fast,
first
then
patrol?
it's a
Born ready,
predictor
Karens.
neighborhood,
Let's
a
see what the
working
city has
class
for us.
neighborhood, a neighborhood that no one in the city's power structure cares about. Is exactly why this is happening there and not in Savannah Central. The room goes quiet. Nick looks at her for a long moment. Then he says, "Then you'd better be right." It's a line reading by Jason Bateman that is absolutely loaded. There is a fear in it, there is a love in it, there is a weight of watching himself and everyone who looks like him get it wrong, get it used against them, get it twisted into something they never intended. And there is buried under all of it a silver of hope that she's right. Judy produced with her investigation, working now largely on her own or rather with the new supporting character who become increasingly central to the film's emotional core. A young skunk named Petra, voiced with tremendous heart and scalpely energy by Mercy Merton. Petra is an intern at the CPT, technically not even spotted to be involved in active cases, who stumbled into the same pattern Judy found independently through a school project she was doing. A statistical anomaly in health data tossed to Peace District. She is brilliant, she is overconfident in exactly the way young brilliant people tend to do. And she is carrying around a specific pain. Her older brother was one of the animals who experienced a memory gap. He lost a day, and when she tried to report it to the police, she was dismissed before she even finished explaining. The Judy Petra dynamic is one of the film's genuine pleasure. There is an obvious parallel being drawn between Petra's situation and Judy's in the real film, and the underestimated female animal who no one takes seriously, who fights for the seat at the table, who refuses to accept the limits others place on her. But the film earns this parallel rather than just asserting it. Judy does not become Petra's mentor in a smooth, comfortable way. She is prickly with her, she is impatient. She takes her at one point something harshly. That enthusiasm is not the same thing as skill. And Petra fries back. I know, that's why I'm here to learn the skill so much. Maybe next time someone like me doesn't get laughed out of the procent. Together they start mapping the full scope of what's happening of Synapse Biotech. They discover that the memory drug called Tabula, which is Latin for blank slate, is not a future product in development. It's already being used and it is being administered not in clinical trials with consonant forms the oversight boards. It's being released into the water supply of specific neighborhoods through a network of secondary pipes that Dr. Wu's facility controls under a municipal contract for quiet water quality enhancement. The city is being drugged selectively and the neighborhood being targeted are not random. Here's where Zootopia 2 does something that genuinely separates it from a lot of animated films, including its own procedure. It refuses to give us a clean villain. When Judy finally gains across to Dr. Rose through a combination of Petra's hacking skills and a brilliant fake identity scheme that briefly reunites Judy and Nick in a comedic undercover sequence, absolutely worth the price of admissions alone. What she finds is not a monster, what she finds is something who genuinely, sincerely, heartbreakingly believes that what she is doing is good. Dr. Wall's backstory, revealed in fragments across several scenes, is devastating. She gives up in the predator slums of Zootopia's nocturnal district. Watched her the parents lose their jobs during the night howlers crisis because employees were afraid to hire predators. Watched her community spiral into poverty and hopelessness and violence. She watched the city's power structures and the government, the police, the institutions fail her community over and over again while cheerfully putting up morals about unity and progress. And so she built something. She spent
Ready
decades
for what's
building
next, Nick?
a drug
With you,
that
always
could
carrots.
Then let's go.
selectively erase traumatic memories.
The sun is back.
memories
Welcome,
of
friends.
violence,
Yes, what a beautiful day to be together.
Yay, animals are playing!
Degradation and fear. And she started using it on her own community. She believed with consent. She started with
It's over.
volunteers,
Surrender
animals
now.
who
Over.
came
This is just the beginning.
to her
Give
and
it up.
said,
We have
I
you.
want to forget what happened to me. I want to start over. When the results were
Almost there, Nick.
astonishing,
Keep climbing.
when
Right
she
behind you, carrots.
watched
Watch for the lights.
these animals walk
The
out
hot
of
spots
her
are spreading. We
facility
need a plan.
lighter,
Agreed.
fatigue, no
Clawhouse, what does
longer
traffic look like? Sector 4 is
crushed
clear. We can
under
move in.
the weight of
It's all right.
journal
I'm here to
trauma.
help.
She made a decision. She expanded the program without consent because she tells Judy in a scene that is one of the most disturbing and morally complex in the entire film. Consent requires trust, and trust requires history, and the history in the city has not been kind to us. So I made the choice for them the way our pain has always been made for us by others. The silence that follows the monologue is almost unbearable because Kate Blanchett says every single word of it.
Well,
You understand, Dr. Voss, you feel the
Different.
logic of her
Stay
pain,
alert,
you
Nick.
can trace every step of
All
the
right, Wild. Ready for our first
terrible
patrol?
journey
born ready,
that led
carrots.
her
Let's see
to
what the city has
this
for us.
decision. And you know, it's wrong. What she is doing is violation of the most fundamental kind, the removal of memory, of experience of selfhood, even if the memories are painful, because those memories belongs to the people who carry them. Judy says as much, and Dr. Voss looks at her with those pale eyes and says, I have heard that argument from institution before. They also told us what was best for us. The investigation reaches its crisis point when Nick, who has been keeping his distance from the case, make a discovery that no one was expecting. The second phase of trauma is not limited to traumatic memory erosion. Dr. was working in secret with the Samal Inner Circle has developed a version of the drug that can implant false memories, no erase create, and the target for this phase 2 development is not the predator community anymore. The target is the upcoming moral election where Lionheart opponent, a candidate named Elderman Stripes, is zebra running on a platform of what he calls species realism has been gaining disturbing traction in the polls. Was intends to administer the memory blunting compound to a carefully selected group of swing district voters. Implanting memories of functional crimes computed by Stripes, she is going to enrich an electric using pneumatically, and she has the infrastructure to do it. This is the moment where the film shifts from a detective story into something approaching a thriller, and the pacing kicks into a higher gear. There is a ticking clock, there is a city that does not know what's happening to it, and there is a villain who is utterly convinced he is the hero. Nick confronts Judy in the third act in a scene that echoes their apartment arguments from earlier, but with the emotional volume cranked up significantly. He tells her, "You are right. You are right about all of it, and I should have been here from the beginning." It is the kind of apology that does not ask for forgiveness, just acknowledge the future. Judy's response is quiet and aching. I need you to push back. I need something to make sure I was doing the right. The fact that you did, that's not something to be sorry for. The exchange happens on a bridge over the canal that runs through the heart of the city. Behind them, the Unity Arch is visible in the middle distance. The symbolism is almost too clean, but the performance makes it feel earned. the climax of Zootopia to unfold into simultaneous space. Judy and Nick racing to neutralize the delivery system for the phase to compound before a public rally where it will be developed while Petra acting on her own initiative in a move that's both heroic and terrifying, has broken into the Synapse Biotech server room and is attempting to upload the evidence of was entire operating to every news outlet in Zootopia simultaneously. The action sequence in his section are extraordinarily well crafted. Disney animation has clearly leveled up in the years since the original film, and the Thundertown case sequence, Judy and Nick pursuing a drone delivery system through a blast across ice-slicked street with the clock literally ticking on every scene in the city is a showcase of everything the studios can do at its absolutely best. The lighting is astonishing, the way the city's ambient glow reflects off snow and the ice gives the sequence a cool, blow-wide urgency that is genuinely gorgeous and genuinely tense. But the most powerful moment of the climax is not the action, it is a quieter scene that happens simultaneously. Dr. was realizing that her servers are being compressed, going to find Petra herself. She finds the young Skaklup, the server room, that uploading, and she does not call security, she doesn't raise an alarm, she sits down on the floor across from Petra. This executed brilliant tragic fox, and she says, "How old are you?" 19. Petra says,
Ready for what's next, Nick?
"My
With you,
brother
always
was
carrots."
19
Then
when
let's
he
go.
lost his job because of it."
The sun is back.
Night,
Welcome,
however,
friends.
Penny
Yes,
was
what a
a-
beautiful
he
day to be
never
together.
Yay,
worked
animals
again.
are playing!
He died at 42, liver failure. And Petra says, her voice breaking, "My brother lost a day of his life because of what Joe did to
It's
him.
over! Surrender
He
now!
lost his
Over.
girlfriend
This is
birthday.
just the beginning.
He
Give it
thought
up.
he
We
didn't
have you.
care about her. They broke up. He still does not know why it's happened.
Almost
That
there,
day
Nick.
is just
Keep climbing.
gone.
Right behind you, carrots.
The
Watch for
upload
the lights.
completes.
The hotspots are spreading. We need a plan.
Agreed. Clawhauser, what's the
Was
traffic look like?
looks
Sector 4 is
at
clear.
this
We can move
screen
in.
for a long time, and then she says softly
all right.
when something that
I'm here
might
to help.
almost thoroughly got. It is one of the most quietly devastating moments in recent animated film history because it tells you everything about Dr. Maravos. She built something monstrous out of a grief that was entirely justified. And somehow, somewhere deep underneath all of it, she knew what she become, and part of her, the part that grows up dreaming of healing instead of harming, was ready to be stopped. The film act is not triumphant in the way you might expect it. There is no clean victory lap, no crowd applauding
Well,
as the horses walk away in slow motion.
different.
What
Stay alert, Nick.
there is instead is something more
Alright, Wild.
complicated
Ready
and
for our
more
first patrol?
adult.
born ready, carrots.
course.
Let's see what the city has for us.
Accountability. Dr. Boss is arrested. Synapse Biotech is shut down. The evidence Petra uploaded triggered a citywide investigation and eventually a major public health response to identity and help the animals whose memories were altered. Some of these animals, when informed of what happened to them, and devastated. Some are angry, some, and this is one of the film's most painfully honest choice, say that felt belt after the treatment that the memories they lost were Once they had wanted to know, what do you do with that? What does Judy do with the knowledge that for some of these animals a crime was committed against them that they don't experience as harm? Judy does not have an answer. The film doesn't have an answer. What it has been instead is the question sitting there, Elaine and uncomfortable, refusing to be resolved. There is a scene near the end where Judy visits Chloe in juvenile detention, the kid from the opening bank robbery. She doesn't have anything to offer him. She doesn't have a solution for his mother's medical bills or the defendant clinic. She just shows up. She brings a plant for his window. She sits down. She says, "You think the city's gonna fix the cleaning?" Judy is honest. "I don't know. I'm going to try." Chloe nods, looks at the plant. "Okay," he says. "I guess that's something." The film's final image is the Unity Arch, lit at night with a small crack running through the stone near the base, a crack that was not there in the opening shot. The camera holds on it, then the film ends. Let's start with Judy because Judy in this film is doing something really difficult, and Jennifer Goodwin's performance rises to meet it completely. In the original film, Judy's arc was essentially a becoming story. She started as an idealist, got knocked down, discovered that her own unconscious biased with her complicit in something harmful, and the rebuilt herself with the more honest, more complicated understanding of justice. It was a beautiful arc. Zootopia 2 picks her up at a more interesting and more treacherous place. She is already done in the growth. She already knows about bias. She already interrogates herself, and yet this is the film's most sophisticated insight about character. Knowing about your biases does not automatically free you from them, it just makes the traps some more sophisticated. Judy's bias in the film is not the blunt instrument produce of the original. It's something stabler and harder to name, the bias of the well-meaning reformer, the belief that because her intentions are right, her actions must also be right, the assumptions that she can walk into a community with historical reasons to district institutions and investigate it, and that the toughness of her cause was will protect everyone involved from harm. Goodwin threads this needle with extraordinary care. There are moments where Judy is genuinely heroic. Her moral clarity about consent and selfhood is the confrontation with voice is breathtaking. And moments where she is genuinely wrong and the film insists on both without flinching. The scene that captures her arc most fully comes near the end of the second act when she realizes that her investigation has had a political consequence. The ZPD's increased presence around Synapse Biotech has been picked up by the media as an investigation of the Predator neighborhood itself, not the corporation within it. People in that community already vulnerable and already watched are now even more watched. Her investigation meant to protect them has increased the very surveillance that has always made their list harder. Goodwin plays this movement without dialogue. It is purely physical, a stillness, a pulling in of a breath, a look that is not guilt but something more complex. Recognizes recognition, the specific pain of
Ready for
seeing
what's next,
others
Nick?
clearly,
With you,
maybe
always carrots.
for
Then
the
let's
first
go.
time. Nick, while
The sun is back.
Uh,
Welcome, friends.
Yes, what a beautiful day to be together.
Yay, animals are playing! Then in the original, which is saying something, Jason Batman's performance in the first movie was a masterclass in layered comedy. Every joke
It's over.
contained
Surrender
at least
now.
one layer
Over.
of
This is just the beginning.
defense
Give it up.
mechanism.
We have you.
Every gallop remark is marked.
Almost
While
there, Nick. Keep
in the
climbing.
wall,
Right behind you, carrots.
Nick built
Watch for the
around
lights.
himself in Zootopia too
The hot
that
spots
he
are
is
spreading. We
lower.
need a plan.
Nick is
Agreed.
more
Clawhauser, what's the traffic
open,
look
more
like? Sector 4 is
vulnerable,
clear. We
and
can move in.
Batman handled this
It's all right.
transition
I'm here to help.
with the delicacy it discovers, because it would be very easy to make Nick's emotional evolution feel like a loss of the character rather than a growth. Nick's function in this film is physical as much as operational. He is the character through whom the film asks its most challenging questions about institutional change versus personal change, about whether systems can be reformed from within or whether the very act of joining the institutions means becoming complex
This
in
is
it.
different.
Batman
Stay alert,
discovers
Nick.
it with a quiet,
All
loaded,
right, Wild. Ready for our first
specific
patrol?
Born ready, carrots.
specificity
Let's see what the
that
city has
makes
for
you
us.
feel like you are overhearing someone's genuine internal struggle. The sequence where Nick speaks to a youth group in the Nikonal district is a highlight. He is supposed to be doing a feel-good cops as you friends presentations, and he stands up in front of these kids, mostly young predators, and he goes off script. He tells them the truth that the system is not perfect, that it has failed animals like them and animals like him. That being a cop himself does not mean he thinks the badge makes him automatically trustworthy. He says that's why I'm standing here instead of somewhere easier, because easier was not working. It's the most openly emotional Nick has ever been without the armor of a job, and the kids are watching him with something that is not trust yet, but might be the thing that comes before trust. I have already discussed was at length in the story section, but it is the worth dwelling on the performance separately because Kate Blanchett's voice work here is simply remarkable. Blanchett brings to voice a quality that is incredible rare in animal and antagonists. She makes the character's intelligence palpable. You believe that this is a brilliant animal who has spent decades thinking about these problems. When Voss speaks about trauma, about memory, about the neurological basis of generally pain, she speaks with the specificity and depth that makes you understand immediately why animals followed her, trusted her, came to her with their work wounds. The genuine of the writing and performance is that They never let you off the hook at the way. They never let you fully dismiss voice as simply a villain, and they never let her excuse her choice because her grief was real. They hold both simultaneously and ask you to sit in the discomfort. Good people can do mysterious things. Love, the fiercest, most protective, most sacrificial love, can become the tools of harm when it stops asking for constant mercy. Medfine's Petra is delightful, essential additions to the Zootopia's family, and if there is Zootopia, she needs to be central to it. When what makes Petra works in her specificity, she is not a generic Pallaki sidekick. She is a specific kind of young person, brilliant enough to be impatient, passionate enough to be reckless, and hard enough to be dangerous. Her anger at having her brother's experience dismissed is notorious, but her method in the early parts of the film are not always carefully. She is the version of Judy Hopps who has not yet learned something the hard way, when to slow down. Her art across the film is about learning to be both brave and precise, not to be not to abandon her fire, not to aim it, and her final confrontation with Dr. Was to animals sitting on a server room floor. Exciting, the real human cost of systematic failure is proof that the character has genuine dramatic depth beyond her comic energy. The central metaphor of Zootopia 2, using memory as a stand-in for cultural and historical identity, is one of the most ambitious thematic gambits I have seen in a Disney animated film, and its mostly impressive payoff. The Tabula drug is not just a plot device, it's a direct engagement with one of the eldest and most painful debates in conversations about systematic trauma. To with to what extent in the work of healing inseparable from the right to remember what hurt you? Can you grieve something you no longer know you lost? And who gets to decide that your suffering is burden worth removing? This question resonates in multiple directions, immediately
Ready
interesting.
for what's next, Nick?
With you,
It
always,
echoes
Carrots.
real world
Then let's
debates
go.
about how communities
The sun is
process
back. Welcome, friends.
collective
Yes, what a
trauma,
beautiful
about the
day to be
police
together.
of the
Yay, the animals are
historical
playing!
memory, about who benefits from forgetting and who benefits from remembering. The film is not subtle about these parallels,
It's over.
nor should
Surrender
it
now.
be.
Over.
The
This is just the
metaphor
beginning.
is being
Give it up. We
unclear
have you.
and purposeful, and it lands because the film has enough emotional
Almost there, Nick.
specificity
Keep climbing.
around it
Right behind you,
that it
Carrots.
never
Watch
feels
for the
like a
lights.
lecture.
The hot spots are spreading. We need a plan.
Agreed. Clawhauser, what's the traffic
The
look like?
cracking
Sector 4 is
unity
clear. We can
arc
move
is
in.
the final shot is the film's most
It's all right. I'm
explicit
here to help.
visual symbol, and it's more complicated than it might initially appear. The easy reading is the city's unity is damaged, the ideals are cracked, progress is fragile, and yes, the film means all of that. But look at what the film does start to. It does not show the arc feeling. It does not show the correct spreading. It does not give you a crumbling monument as a symbol of despair. It gives you a cracked monument that is still standing. This is the film's fundamental argument. Ideals can be imperfect and still be worth maintaining. Progress can be
different.
incomplete
Stay alert, Nick.
and still be real.
All
A
right,
city
Wild.
can
Ready
be
for our first
broken
patrol?
and still
Born
be
ready,
worth
Carrots. Let's see what
fighting
the city
for.
has for
The
us.
crack is not a failure of the ideal. It's evidence that the ideal has been tested and it's still there. The film's most philosophically interesting thread is the interrogation of paternalism, the assumptions by one person or group that they know what is better of another and that therefore justified in making decisions for them. Dr. Voss is a paternalist. She believes her superior understanding of trauma and healing gives her the right of intervene in other animals' psychological lives without their knowledge of approval. But the film is smart enough to point out that paternalism does not only live in villains, it asks hard questions about Judy's investigation. Who did she consult in the Predators community before she started surveilling their neighborhood? About the city's border policies. Who was in the room when the Thundertown water contract were awarded? Paternalism, the film argues, is not a bug in the system. It is a feature of systems that have historically placed the comfort of powerful groups above the dignity of less powerful ones. It manifests in dramatic forms like Waugh's apartment and in quiet mundane forms like a well-initiated corpse who does not think it asks the community she is protecting whether they want to be protected this way. One of the most suffocated choices Utopia makes is refusing to let the predator prey binary remain the primary axis of division. In the 9 years since the original film, the narrative has grown, the city has grown, and the film shows us utopia in which the older predator prey divide, while not gone, has been partially displaced by new one economic divisions, geographic divisions, divisions between animals who benefit from the city's progress and animals who has been left behind by it. This is the true to the way social dynamics actually evolves. One form of produce does not certain predator and poor has gained certain symbolic victories since the Night Howlers crisis, but has not gained economic security or institutional trust. The film does not present this as an argument against integrations or progress. It presents it as the argument for them for looking past of the symbols and the morals and the monuments to ask who is actually experiencing material change and who is being asked to be satisfied with representation. Let's talk about the visuals because the Utopia 2 is one of the most technically accomplished animals of films Disney has ever released. The 9 years between films give the studio time to develop simulations and the rendering tools that are genuinely next generation and the results are breathtaking. The first simulation alone deserves its own conversation. Every character in the film has individually rendered for that respond realistically to environment, weather, and emotion. For that flattens in rain, that stands up with fear, that gets matted and wet during the snow cause in the climax. The level of physical detail is staggering, and yet it never distracts from the storytelling because it's been deployed in service of character expressions rather than technical showmanship. The city design is expanded in brilliant way. The original Zootopia was remarkable for creating distinct climate controlling districts with deeply different visual identities, and Zootopia 2 takes full advantage of those established environments by exploring the spaces between them, the transactional zones, the neighborhood by the seams of districts, the areas that are architecturally and climatically mixed in a way that feels genuinely alive. The Nocturnal district glimpsed only briefly in the
Ready for what's next, Nick?
With you, always carrots.
Then let's go.
The sun is back. Welcome, friends.
Yes, what a beautiful day to be together.
Yay, the animals are playing!
It's over! Surrender now!
Over. This is just the beginning. Give it up. We have you.
Almost there, Nick! Keep climbing!
Right behind you, carrots. Watch for the lights.
The hotspots are spreading. We need a plan.
Agreed. Clawhauser, what's the traffic look like? Sector 4 is clear. We can move in.
It's all right. I'm here to help.
Well, this is different.
Stay alert, Nick. All right, Wild. Ready for our first patrol?
Born ready, carrots. Let's see what the city has for us.
Ready for what's next, Nick?
With you, always carrots.
Then let's go.
The sun is back. Welcome, friends.
Yes, what a beautiful day to be together.
Yay! Animals are playing!
It's over! Surrender now!
Over. This is just the beginning. Give it up. We have you.
Almost there, Nick. Keep climbing.
Right behind you, carrots. Watch for the lights.
The hotspots are spreading. We need a plan.
Agreed. Clawhauser, what's the traffic look like? Sector 4 is clear. We can move in.
It's all right. I'm here to help.
Well, this is different.
Stay alert, Nick. All right, Wild. Ready for our first patrol?
Born ready, carrots. Let's see what the city has for us.